Welcome to Royal Pride. I'm Tim Rutherford here with Aaron Spalding. Welcome again, Aaron.
Great to be here.
Be our last show of the year, so we're going to wrap up spring sports as best we can. Sectional action has started for the girls, and I believe the boys' track ran last night as well.
They run tonight.
They run tonight.
Oh, it's yeah, we
Thursday
had
now,
the girls' sectional on Tuesday opened up sectional play for us, or action, I should say, on Tuesday, and from there we'll just every week we'll be having different sectionals until boys golf finishes up in June.
And Coach Schultz's job's on the line tonight, right?
That's right. That's right.
Shout out to Coach Clayton Schultz for that. We're in one of the. We play a lot of are in the track meet with a lot of the Indianapolis schools, aren't we?
Absolutely.
So,
absolutely.
But we do have some boys who have a chance to move on, and maybe they'll shock the world and come out as a team.
That'd be great. That'd be great.
But I know we had some success with the high school girls. Since we talked last, I know the county meet was really successful. The sectional, we had some girls moving out of that as well.
Yeah, a couple of meets happened. I believe last meet we had talked about that we just recently won the Eastern Hancock Invitational, which it's always good to win your own invite. So, but since then we've had a couple big meets on the girls' side, as you mentioned, the county, and then just Tuesday night the sectional. So I'd like to highlight some of the kids, the girls' accomplishments at those two meets. The county, obviously, really in both these meets. As you mentioned, we have a lot of big schools in the county. We're about a third of the size of each other's schools. So, but anyway, some of the accomplishments. I'm talking kids that placed in the county meet. You have 4 teams, so the top 5 in individual wins, top 5 place and score in the county meet. In the relays, top 3 place. So, just some accomplishments there. Katie Janes finished 5th in the 100 in the county. Taylor Stein finished 3rd in the 400. Lainey Effing 5th in the 1600, which is the mile. Liberty Durham 5th in the 3200, which is the 2 mile. Hannah Gates finished 4th in the 100 hurdles and 3rd in the 300 hurdles. Daly Pelger 3rd in the high jump. Allie Spalding 5th in the long jump. Bailey Allen 5th in the shot put. And then we had a 4x100 team of Lexi Lumen, Katie Janes, Allie Spalding, and Whitney Bishop that finished 3rd. So, good showing in the county for us. We were proud of them. And then the following week, which was this past Tuesday, we went and participated in the sectional. The sectional is at Pendleton Heights. There's 13 schools, 5 of which are much significantly larger than Eastern Hancock, with the largest school being Lawrence North, who did win the sectional.
I say they have some Indianapolis schools in theirs as well.
Absolutely. But I want to highlight some of the kids' accomplishments there as well. We finished 6th overall out of the 13 teams, and we finished higher than any school that was our size or less. So
we won the 2A sectional.
We did win the 1 and 2A sectional. So, but anyway, in the sectional, the top 8 place get points in a sectional. So I want to highlight the kids, and then also we had a few kids. We had 3 girls who'll be moving on to the regional. As I mentioned, top 8 place in the sectional. The top 3 in every event get to go on to the regional. So here's some of the scores. Katie Janes finished 8th in the 100 and the 200. Taylor Stein finished 2nd in the 400, and that makes her a regional qualifier, so she'll be going on to Ben Davis next week. Lainey Effing 6th in the mile. Hannah Gates finished 7th in 100 hurdles, and then 3rd in the 300 hurdles, which once again, that'll qualify her on to Ben Davis next week. Lexi Lumen, 4th in the long jump. Allie Spalding, 7th in the long jump. Emily Wilson, 8th in the discus. Then we had 3 relay teams that scored. The 4x100 team of Lumen, Jane, Spalding, and Bishop finished 6th. 4x4 team of Effing, Spalding, Gates, and Stein finished 5th. And then the 4x8 team of Effing, Floyd, Durham, and Stein finished 6th. So good job on the relays. And then I want to make a special note. We had one sectional champ Bailey Allen was our champion in the shot put, so she was the overall sectional champ. And obviously then she'll be moving on to the regional as well at Ben Davis, which will be next Tuesday.
Excellent. So we had lots of success, and we have 3 individual regional qualifiers.
That's correct.
So,
That's correct.
hopefully they can move on out of there as well.
Absolutely.
Our boys team, you mentioned the sectional is tonight. They had a county meet. I think they had some success during that as well. I think they've had a pretty good season as well. And I know both these teams had a lot of people that we've talked in the past had to replace a lot of graduation from last year.
Yes, we had some young kids this year on both sides, and so looking for good things in the future. But obviously we can't report on the sectional with the boys because that is tonight. Probably by the time this is viewed here, that'll then happen. So, but you have to check out the paper for that. Anyway, at the county meet, the boys had some good success. Once again, the top 5 placed in the county. Devin Brinson finished 5th in 100 and 3rd in the 200. Alvaro Cosman 5th in the 400. Skylar Schroep 5th in the mile. Jason Bowers finished 4th in the 110 hurdles. Jared Boaz finished 5th in the shot put. Then a 4x100 team. Blaze Sarber, Jason Bowers, Chase Settergren, and Devin Brinson. They finished 3rd. And then we had one young man who was county champ in 2 events. Reese Burkhardt, a senior for us, was the county champ in both the shot and the discus. So congratulations to Reese on that.
Excellent, and definitely good luck to them tonight in the sectional. Some opportunities for them, hopefully, to get out of the sectional and move on to the regional well, like we had a few of the girls.
Yeah, that'll take place at Mount Vernon, 5:30. Obviously, probably this is tape delayed, so nobody's going to be able to get the news, but hopefully you made it.
If you go tonight when you're watching this at 5:30, we probably will not be there.
Yeah.
So we've also had some success at the middle school level in track, and I think we have a picture of something very important that happened last week or so.
Our middle school boys track team were county champs, which once again, that's a significant accomplishment. So we're really proud of them. To my knowledge, now I can't say this 100% certainty, but to my knowledge, that might be the first county track championship in Eastern Hancock as far as middle school. I know we had a girls team years back, the high school team, probably 15 or so years ago, did win the county once. But to my knowledge, this was the first middle school track team that has won the county. So very proud of their accomplishments. Coach Mike Gallion is our head boys coach, along with we have lots of other coaches, the high school coaches, and everybody kind of works together out there at the track. But congratulations to them on their championship.
And I believe somebody told me, did they finish the season undefeated?
I believe they did. I don't. If they did lose, I don't remember it. I don't recall. So it was a great season for the middle school boys.
Excellent. Well, we're going to take a quick time out here on Royal Pride, and when we come back, we're going to head to the Diamonds.
A working mom who brings her best to both roles. A community-owned telecom that connects her home with high-bandwidth fiber optic. Mom can work from home with fast, reliable connectivity and be there when the kids come home. When everyone logs on, the internet connections stay fast and the family stays connected. Ninestar Connect. Community-owned. Community strong.
Welcome back to Royal Pride, and we're going to move out to the Diamonds. We're going to start ladies first. We're going to start with softball today, and our ladies softball team, the varsity team, is doing really well again this year.
Yep, they're having a great season once again, and they're 17-6 on the year, and that's really with a really tough schedule. Some of the highlight wins, they beat Lawrence North twice in a doubleheader. They beat Warren Central. and competed with a lot of others. They've played some other really quality teams. Hamilton Southeastern they played, lost in extra innings to them. So they've had a really quality schedule, so going 17-6 there, quite an accomplishment. We have 3 young ladies who are seniors who've had really been integral in our success over the last few years. So I want to mention them. Casey Gilbert, Peyton West, and Brooke Walden have all been seniors that have been very integral. So really done a great job for us. Some statistical leaders for us on the girls' side. We got 3 girls batting over, 3 girls batting over 400 and 2 over 5. So Casey Gilbert's hitting 429 right now. Micah Black, who's a junior for us, also been really important to our success, is hitting 500. Then Brooke Walden, one of our seniors, hitting 552. So they're doing a great job. Brooke Walden has also hit 7 home runs. And Micah Black leads us in RBIs with 29. So great at the plate. We've had some other kids have some success at the plate as well. Our leading pitcher thus far, Elise Bidinger. Elise is a sophomore. She has an ERA of 1.81, and we all know that pitchers in softball are very important. I would equate it, for those who aren't familiar, probably about as important in softball as a quarterback is in football, just really important. And they can pitch more than, say, a baseball pitcher has to rest because they're going underhand. So, but anyway, Lisa's done a great job for us. They have their sectional coming up. They'll play at Heritage Christian. We drew the bye, so that's good. And then we open up with Hal at Heritage Christian. That's on May 23rd, which that is next Tuesday, is that correct, I believe?
Yes.
Tuesday at Heritage Christian, 7 o'clock Hal, and then should we win that game, that first game's at 7 o'clock, should we win that game, we'll play the next night for the sectional championship.
Excellent. And just as a note, the 8th grade finished up last night. We got to mention it because it was Knightstown, and we always say you got to beat Knightstown.
That's right. That's right.
The 8th graders beat Knightstown to finish 7-5 last night on the season. Rachel Jessup hit one out of the park last night. So, and when she hit it, I said, "That's gone." So there was no doubt about where that one was headed once she put contact to it. So,
right.
They beat Knightstown 18-7.
There
so
we
it's
go.
Always good
That's
to,
right.
To beat up on your rival.
That's right.
We're going to move to the other diamond, just right next to our softball diamond, our baseball diamond. I know our boys have had some really good wins. Mm-hmm. They're sitting right now at 12-11, but I do have to take credit for one of them because I saw one of the boys, a couple of the boys one night. They were umping one of the little guys' games over there, and they said they played Hagerstown the next night. They were number 1 in the state, undefeated. I said, they're going to have one loss after tomorrow night. So why don't you tell them what happened there?
Yeah, we as you mentioned, we played Hagerstown. I believe that was last Thursday, if my memory serves me correct. Hagerstown was undefeated coming in, and they were ranked number 1 in Class 1A. And we were able to beat them 5-4, close game all the way. A.J. Meggie in the bottom of the 6th had an RBI single. Was 4-4 going into that. He had an RBI single, and then we were able to finish off them the 7th. So great win. Also, just a couple nights ago, beat a county rival, Mount Vernon, 8-3. So a couple really good wins. As you mentioned, they're 12-11. Mentioned some accomplishments for our kids. Addison Trues leading us, has the highest batting average, batting .440. Levi Majority, a senior, is leading us with 25 RBIs. Once again, I have a lot of kids who've stepped up. It's one of those teams where, there's a lot of kids contributing. Pitching-wise, we've had 2 kids who really have excelled on the mound. Clayton White generally draws the really, our big games. He's our senior and has done a great job over the years. He's 4-4, but he's had some really tough competition. And he has an ERA of 3.85. And then Andrew Noblock, who's a junior, has been 6-1 and with a 4.06 ERA. So, and we've had some other kids who pitched, but those have been our really, those are our 1 and 2 guys and done a great job for us.
And as you mentioned before, if people don't understand, especially now because there's new rules in the IHSAA with pitch counts and required rest and things like that,
Right.
trying to protect young men's arms, the science and all that out there now, we know a lot more than we used to. And so they can't just go out and throw every game.
Right. You have pitch counts where kids can only throw X amount of pitches, every so often. I don't know. I don't have them memorized, but Coach Kokenauer sends me a pitch count. He has to keep a spreadsheet on file with me that we are making sure that our kids are, as you mentioned, not hurting their arms. So anyway, you got to have a lot of pitching to be successful in baseball.
Right.
I apologize, I meant to go into that. They will open up their sectional. Their sectional is at Trident Central High School. They will open up with the Tigers next Wednesday, May 24th. They will play at 5 p.m. And so come out and support the Royals. Actually, I'll be split that night. Hopefully our girls will be in the sectional championship, so I'll probably be over at Heritage Christian. I certainly hope to be on that evening.
And then if they win, do they play again Thursday or is it Friday?
That's a good question. If you go to our website, you can find it. I believe, I don't know if they play the next night or Friday. I'll have to check that out.
Excellent. Well, they can go to the website or the app and see all of the schedule information for that. Well, we've had some great success on the diamonds. How about what's happened out on the tennis court?
Tennis, this has been a building stage, and our kids have done a little bit better this year. Our girls' tennis program, they've got a couple wins on the year, and they're getting better. And it's an individual sport, so we've had some individual. And what I mean by individual, your team might lose, but you might win your match. The way tennis is set up in high school, you have your 1 singles, your 2 singles, your 3 singles, and then you have your 1 doubles team and your 2 doubles team is the way tennis. And then obviously that's 5. So the team that wins, if you win 3 of those 5, then you win the match. So, but anyway, Chelsea McMahon has played #1 singles for us. She is a freshman, so that's a good sign for things to come. Your #1 is a freshman. She'll have her back. We only have 1 senior. Erin McKeeman is our only senior, so we've got some kids coming back. But Chelsea's been our #1 singles, and she's took her lumps a little bit, but as you know, if a kid's taking their lumps as a freshman, generally they're going to start giving them as time goes on. Right. So she's getting better, doing a great job. As far as our kids with the most wins, Valentina Brooks and Madison Hagelin at our #2 doubles have got the most individual wins. Obviously they're a team, but they've got the most individual wins. Once again, both those kids are freshmen, so they're getting better. Another young lady who's had some success, Kayla Huff, at the Eastern Hancock Invitational, which was this past Saturday, was the #2 singles champion. She's currently a junior, so she'll be back next year. Doing a good job, getting better. That's what we want to see. They have their sectional tonight at Mount Vernon. So both our track teams and our tennis teams will be at Mount Vernon tonight for the sectional.
Excellent. So if everybody goes out to Mount Vernon when they watch this show, they won't see either.
That's right. But if you make it there, make it over to the tennis courts and the track.
Excellent. Well, we're going to take another quick break. When we come back, we'll wrap up the spring season with the golf team and then some other things that we have coming up. We'll be right back here on Royal Pride.
A family farm with a family that does more than farm. A community-owned telecom that connected everything and everyone with high-bandwidth fiber optic. She can run her business while staying close to the people she loves most. And he can launch a promising new venture without leaving the farm. Ninestar Connect. Community-owned, community-strong.
Welcome back to Royal Pride, and we're going to go out to the golf course now. That's the last sport for the spring that we haven't talked about, and I think they've had good numbers this year and some success here and there, and their sectional, I think, is the last one of the year.
That doesn't happen till somewhere like June 3rd, I'm going to say. Somewhere in that nature is where they'll be out at Hawksdale here in Greenfield for the sectional, but that's the last sectional to take place. But as you mentioned, they have good numbers. They have some interesting tales I hear back from the golf course sometimes. But the other night we beat Knightstown, so that's always a good thing. Leading the way for us this year as a senior for us, Cody Young is consistently, generally our top golfer, our low score on the evening. The other night at Knightstown, I believe he shot a 45. So, but I know they're having a good time, and one of our basketball players, Jake Eishen, he's on the golf team this year, and this is his first experience golf. So I always hear about his tales, and he's having a good time. So he's learned how to play golf, and they're having a good time.
Does he golf like we do?
Well, hopefully he gets a little better than me. So, no, they're having fun, and they're getting better, and that's what we want to see.
Excellent. Well, and I was listening to the golf coach talk in the office the other day with Mrs. Rainbolt, and he was telling her you'd approved about $30,000 in the budget for their off-season workouts.
Absolutely.
So they can go down to Florida.
Yeah, well, I think he talked about going to Texas. So Corpus Christi.
Well, he was going to Sawgrass over the winter. So
there we go.
I just wonder where you came up with the $30,000. But
Yeah.
Well, we've got some other exciting news in Eastern Hancock sports. Emily Carlton, she was a senior on our basketball team, crossed the 1,000-point barrier. Mm-hmm. She's made a commitment to play at the next level.
Yeah, we always like to see our kids move on and participate at the collegiate level. Emily will be heading to Millikan University, which is in Illinois. So she'll be heading there, and she'll be playing basketball there, and she made that commitment the other night. So great to see our kids move on.
And a couple that have already moved on and are running for Marian University had some success this past weekend.
Yeah, Marian University, we have a couple young ladies who are participating in track. One, I know this a little bit more intricately because one of them is my daughter. But they had a conference meet. This is in collegiate track. That's probably their, at least in NAI, which is what they participate in, is kind of their big thing they're shooting for, kind of like in sectional for that type of thing. But anyway, some of the other schools in our conference, like Taylor, Huntington, Indiana Wesleyan, those types of schools are in their conference. But they won the conference as a team. Kirsten Schroep she was actually the conference champion in the steeplechase, which a steeplechase that's not a high school event, but the steeplechase is kind of like a 3-mile hurdle run. Yeah, it's not quite as high as the normal hurdles, but nonetheless, she was the champion in that. She also finished.
Is that the one where they jump in the water too?
Yeah, well, I'm not sure if that. I don't think they have water. I think in the Olympics they may have water, but anyway. Kirsten also finished 5th in the 800. In the conference meet, the way you place, once again, I believe it's the top 8 in your event place. Hope finished 5th in the 400 hurdles. So I want to congratulate our young ladies once again, similar to Emily, when our kids go on, and we want to highlight their success. Earlier in the year, Clayton Brumfield was the freshman of the year in cross country at Franklin. So love to see our kids moving on and having success at another level.
Excellent. And then from those that have moved on to those that are just moving into our programming, they had an elementary track and field night a few nights ago, or last week I believe it was, and they had several of our young people participate.
Yeah, I believe they had approximately 75 kids. This is an event we started 4 or 5 years back, where we just get give the elementary kids an opportunity to kind of get exposed to track and field with sprints and jumps and throws, that type of thing. So they had that the other night, and like I said, about 75 kids participated, and it was great to see. I want to give a special thank to our youth boosters. It's a new organization we've done this year, or started this year. Corey Rainbold has kind of headed that up. They've done a great job. This is one of the things that they've done. So appreciate their efforts in that. It was a huge success.
Excellent. And as we wrap up every season, we always have an awards night that's coming up here in early June for the spring season.
Yep, our awards this year will be on June 6th. That's a Tuesday night. That'll be in the high school gym at 7 o'clock.
Excellent. And our Education Foundation's big fundraiser is coming up, and I believe, are you going out in the competitive group that morning?
No, I'm serving concessions, so I'll be helping with the concession stand. But our Educational Foundation is a great group that raises money to help support our teachers in the classroom to do some projects that we wouldn't otherwise be able to fund. And as you mentioned, this is probably their biggest fundraiser of the year, the Mud Run. They even got a billboard up on 70. If you're driving past 70, you'll see that advertising it. So they're hoping for a great success. That's on May 27th. It's a Saturday. There's 3 different races. They're the elite race, and that's for people who are really serious.
Like you, right?
Yeah, something like that. Then there's a competitive race where you're trying to win, but and then there's the family have a good time race type thing. So 3 different waves will go out. It's a great opportunity. You can still go sign up. I believe there's a website. You can go online, royalmudman.com.
And I would be waiting for the 4th wave to start. So I use the excuse that's my son's birthday, so we can't participate.
We'll be ready for you next year then when it's on the 26th.
But as we wrap up here, there are lots of camp opportunities this summer. For I know there's volleyball camp, there's football camp, there's basketball camps. Pretty much any camp in any sport you want.
Right. Tennis has one as well.
Tennis has one.
So yeah, go as those become. I know basketball, at least boys basketball camps are on the website. I believe football's up there. I think volleyball's got there. We're waiting on tennis and girls basketball a little bit to get theirs, to get that finalized. So, but go on the website. You should be able to find out information if you're interested in those camps.
Excellent. Well, that's going to be it for us this year, and we will be back next fall to talk some more Eastern Hancock athletics once the fall season gets underway. Thanks for joining us this year, and we'll see you next fall on Royal Pride.